Okay, with me in the studio right now, we have MC K9 from Northampton, England. He just finished, like an hour ago or something, just finished recording his first track on his album. He's recently moved to Canada just in January. He's also working on a new solo career, and he seems to play a lot of shows in Calgary and is neglecting Edmonton.
No, well, I mean, it's just the way it's worked out. It's not intentional, man. I mean, I'd love to play more shows here. Um, it just seems like there's a lot more going on there. That there's more. They prefer my style down in Calgary, whereas it can be hard to get a response here in Edmonton. So it's not personal, man. I want I want more shows. If anyone's watching or listening.
And like you were saying too, it's you're a little more exotic coming from a different city.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is more than anything else. I think it's just, here I'm kind of viewed as a local now. I moved here and it's my home city, right? Whereas if I lived in Calgary, I'm sure, you know,
Mm.
I'd probably get more shows here. So it's just the way it's going to work out, I think. But
And I was looking too. Maybe they want you because I heard you got best MC
oh,
award.
God, man, 2005. Like I was young. It was just like this radio station I used to perform on. They had like an award ceremony for all the guys who had shows and stuff, and out of all the guy MCs on the radio, yeah, I won the award for best MC. But I think there was about three MCs on the whole station, so
Still pretty good though.
yeah, it was good, man. It was a nice
Probably carry
award.
that around with
Yeah, it was a nice award, man. It's good for putting cups of tea on now.
me.
So yeah.
That's pretty good. And so I listened to your track earlier, and it sounds different than your older ones. What's that like? What's that all about there?
Yeah, I just think at the moment I just wanted to do something different, man. It's totally different to what I'm used to. I'm normally used to like the double time fast MCing, like rave type MCing, but I think on this one track is just I just wanted to get a bit deeper. I'm in a deep place right now, and that's what it was about. I wanted to write something which was going to be true to how I am right now and where I am. And as you say, you heard the track, and it's very different to stuff I've done before. So hopefully we're just going to push on and maybe get 6 or 7 tracks now as like a mini album, and get them all like that, and then maybe we'll have a look at some drum and bass stuff or something too. So
So you're not getting tired of the rave scene, or are you just taking a break from it, or?
I'm not getting tired of it, no way. As I say, it just seems to be very, back home it was a show every Friday and Saturday, but it seems like here it's just like one a month. But don't get me wrong, like when they go off, they're good shows. So I guess it's kind of more quality over quantity. Since I've come here, so I'm just trying to find something now to fill the gaps, and that's going to be making tracks.
What do you think of the rave scene in Canada compared to England?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. Totally different. I think here there's more of a dubstep scene. Certainly more of a dubstep scene than a drum and bass scene. And I think the drum and bass scene in England right now is just absolutely massive. You've got tracks going to number one in the top 40. Beating Rihanna to number one. So it's a big thing right now in the UK, and I think here guys are. I don't think they're behind. I think they just got a different view. And it's not as big.
A different opinion.
A different opinion, man. And it's not as big. Like I've been to some really good shows, where people are just having it and going crazy. But like I say, they're like one a month more than, back home. So
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So then when they go off, they go off. In this festival season right now, and there's a lot of drum and bass guys getting booked at these festivals, and it's being represented. But as I say, it's just not. The vibe is just different. The vibe,
What's your take on dubstep?
Oh, honestly, if you like dubstep, I don't have nothing against you. I don't mind. There's some dubstep tracks that I like, but I'd never perform to dubstep. I've never paid to go to a dubstep rave. I just don't. It's not for me.
So you're not going to turn this track into a dubstep version?
There'll be no dubstep remixes of this track or any tracks on the album. So, yeah, I just think dubstep's a very very interesting concept, man. It's an electronic music which has just come from almost a half-time drum and bass. And people have just taken that and run with it and took it somewhere different, which is crazy now. It's like you've got dubstep producers making tracks for Britney Spears and people, right? It's absolutely just blown up, and now these guys are taking more money than drum and bass artists, you know, and fair play to them if that's what they want to do. But, you know, I'm not interested in dubstep. We'll leave it there. What's your take on dubstep?
When I first heard, I was like, "Oh, this is not too bad." And then, personally, I just think it all sounds the same.
That's the problem for me. It's the same tempo. It's the same. It's very repetitive. People would say the same about drum and bass, though. People would say the same.
Yeah.
I've heard people say the same about drum and bass.
I think
so
it's the modern techno.
yeah, very much
So-
so. Yeah, very much so. So
The whole womp 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 womp.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of wah-wahs in there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So, you know, can become quite repetitive.
Mm-hmm. But it's, yeah, not really my scene. Like the first time I heard, I think was at Sasquatch. In,
Okay, what's that? What's Sasquatch?
It's a big music festival in Washington,
Right. Okay.
and just south of Seattle, and Skrillex was there.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, at first it's like it's good when you're in the crowd, and then you know everyone's like on MDMA and stuff.
But the kids love it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the kids love it. So, you know, like I said, if it's selling, people are getting money. It's just going to grow, man. That's it. It's just going to keep growing. The thing that annoys me, if I can say this right now, actually, is when you've got, you know, drum and bass producers making this dubstep, you know, music to get money. You know, because there's more money in dubstep right now. It's more commercially viable than drum and bass. And you know, there are a lot of drum and bass guys who are like, you know, trying to cash in, you know,
Really talented drum and bass guys.
who could be making the best, you know, who have made some of the best drum and bass tracks ever, you know, who have made anthems. I mean, I was at a party, actually. I was at a house party a couple of weeks ago, and there was this kid. He must have been about 18 or 19 there, and you know, he was going to go to this festival where Pendulum were playing. And, you know, I've been listening to Pendulum for 10 years, and they have made some of the best drum and bass tracks anyone has ever made. Some anthems, man. You know, and but right now they've switched to dubstep, you know, making a lot of dubstep. And this kid come up to me, he asked me if I'm going to go to this music festival, and I said to him I wasn't going to be there. And he said, why not, man? Like, Pendulum are playing, you know, the dubstep guys. You know, and for me, like, it was a sad day. You know, they influenced me, you know, that drum and bass wise, man. They were my love for drum and bass. They made one tune called Vault in like 2002 or 2003 now, and it was just like you know, it changed drum and bass. You know, and when you got these guys now being known as the dubstep guys, it's quite sad.
Yeah.
Man. So, yeah.
And that, I was also gonna ask you too. What's probably the biggest crowd you've played for?
Biggest crowd. Wow. I played to like, it must have been just like 3,000 or 4,000 once at a New Year's Eve party back in England. There was a New Year's Eve party. New Year's Eve ones are always the biggest in England. So all your summertime festivals. But yeah, there was like three or four. It was like 3,000 or 4,000. It was one nation party back in England. So
Wow.
yeah, it's different, you know, and that's the thing. It's different, man. Playing those kind of shows, you know, it's always standing in the club with 300 or 400 people, you know. But when you're on them big systems, big stages, like, you know, it's totally, everything sounds different, you know. And they wasn't my best performances, put it that way, for sure. And you'd think they would be, right? You'd be hyped and everything, but no, they're not.
And do you get intimidated like in front of a crowd like that, or is it just the same?
To be honest with you, I haven't played that many, right? A lot of more experienced MCs and that would tell you that, you know, it's just every day for them now. They just go on, they don't play to anything less than those big stages, right, and the big crowds. Whereas for me, I've done it a couple of times, just, you know, random appearances, and it is very intimidating, man. When you walk up them stairs and then you see, you know, you walk around the back of the speaker and you look out and there's just like, you know, all these faces staring at you.
Well, I don't even mean for the thousands. I just mean any time you go on stage.
It depends, man. Like, if I don't play for a few weeks, you know, then yeah, it can be very, you know, you get the nerves and stuff again. But when I'm back home, I was playing like Friday and Saturday night every week, and it's just like, you know, you just don't think about it. It just becomes a Friday night. Every Friday night, you know, this is what I'm doing. It's like going to work on a Monday morning. You know, do you get nervous when you come to work?
Well, that's
I don't know.
Depends what I have to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, no, in all honesty, I wasn't getting nervous, but now, like, if I got a show in Calgary, like, I'll have a few nerves, which is not a bad thing at all.
'Cause I was gonna ask you if there's anything, any advice you can give me for overcoming stage fright, because I have to MC a wedding this weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just be yourself, man. Just
Okay.
just relax. I guess it's like the same with anything, man. I was talking to somebody last night. Actually, they were DJ, and they was worried about their set, and I said to him, you'll probably mess up the first two mixes, or in your case, the first two gags. No one will laugh, But then just it's not going to get any worse than that, right? So just go for it,
Yeah.
And that's what I'd say probably. If no one laughs at the first two jokes, man, just fly, because it's not going to get any worse.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's the way for me. Sometimes, like I said, you miss the first drop, and then you're like, Jesus, man. But just got to get into it, man.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
No worries.
And guess we'll wait for the next track. And hope to see you soon then.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, just while I'm here, I just want to give a shout out to some people who, I feel have supported me a lot, since I came here. And, I just want to say, especially the guys in Calgary. Do you know what I mean? Those guys have been awesome, man. So, I don't think it's right that I mention names, because you always forget one, and then that one person is the one who listens and watches. So, but yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's supported me and been patient, man. I've been quiet for 5 months, so it's just nice, the people are now probably going to check this and whatever. So it's all good. So thanks a lot for your time, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Nice, that was good.